about magnetic circuit. Okay, we have discussed magnetic circuit terminology, and then we have discussed what is parallel magnetic circuit and series magnetic circuit. Then we have done some problems on that. Then later we have discussed what is Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, first law, second law, then Lenz's law, then what is induced EMF, statically induced EMF, dynamically induced EMF. Then later we have also discussed uh, self-inductance, mutual inductance, and coefficients of coupling. Okay, so that's about uh, magnetic uh, circuit. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the last portion of this module, that is alternating current fundamentals. That means how in this particular topic we are going to learn about how we are producing uh, alternating current or voltage waveform, and also what are the important terminologies in alternating current. That is basic part of this. And in the next module, we will discuss this topic in detail. Okay. So in this module, it is just an introduction to alternating current. In the next module, we will be discussing about uh, uh, in detail and we will be discussing in detail about the alternating current. Okay. So this also you may have studied during your 10th or plus 2. Okay. This is a diagram of a generator. So how alternating currents are generated? Okay, here you can see that north pole of a magnet. Here you can see south pole. And in between this north pole and south pole, we have placed a conductor or wire loop. Okay, so it may be it will be a winding wounded on a rotor. Okay, so uh, there are slip rings also. I am not going into details of slip ring and all. Uh, so what will happen is uh, when this flux will be flowing continuously from north pole to south pole, that we know already, and when this rotor or conductor is rotating within this, the flux linkage will change. So according to the Faraday's law, so what was Faraday's law? Whenever a magnetic flux linked with a coil changes, an EMF is induced in the circuit. Whenever a magnetic flux linked with a coil changes, an EMF is induced in the circuit. So here when this conductor or wire loop is rotating in the magnetic field, so magnetic flux linked with that particular conductor will change. So at that time, EMF will be induced. So you can see that one part of the conductor is marked in red color and another is uh, blue color. Okay, that means both end are of different polarity, and you can see that the red color is attached to this slip rings and blue color is attached to the second slip ring. So we will be uh, getting voltage across these two terminals. The output will be across this terminal. So it will be an alternating current in the form of an alternating current. Okay, so how to generate alternating current? So there will be a magnet, uh, north pole and south pole. Flux will be flowing from north pole to south pole, and we are keeping one conductor or coil in this magnetic flux. When it is rotating, so if you keep stationary, nothing will happen. If it is when it is rotating, what will happen is the flux linkage will be changing with respect to the conductor. So when there is a change in flux linkage, EMF will be induced in the circuit. So with the help of slip ring, you will be getting this output. So here we can see much more in detail. This is another diagram. If you observe here on the right side, it is angle of rotation. Then we have the diagram of generator. Then voltage uh, also plotted. Okay. So initially you assume that it is perpendicular to the flux. Okay. Uh, Flux is actually flowing from north pole to south pole, and your rotor is perpendicular to the flux. Okay. At that time, that is the initial position. Okay. Then you just check the second diagram. Okay, second one is this one. So it is rotating in anti-clockwise. Okay, it is not clockwise, anti-clockwise. I am assuming that it is rotating in anti-clockwise. Now, how much degree it is rotated? 90 degree it is rotated. You can see that there are two terminal. One is marked as A and another one is assumed as B. Okay. So what happens is when it is rotating from this perpendicular position to the parallel position, maximum amount of flux linkage happens. So initially the voltage was 0, and when it is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction to the next 30 degree, the next 90 degree, this is 90 degree actually, 90 degree, the maximum flux linkage happens. So voltage increases from 0 to maximum. Now also you see that the maximum linkage happens to the A side of the conductor. This is A side and this is B side. Okay, so you can see that when it is rotating anti-clockwise, that is why the direction is important. When it is rotating anti-clockwise, initially A was in the top. Now A is in contact with the flux line, okay, than B. So when it is rotating, A is in contact with flux line than B. So what happens is the when I am measuring voltage at A or EMF at A with respect to B, what happens is it slowly increases from 0 to maximum. So why it is increasing? Because this conductor cuts the magnetic lines, or the linkage of magnetic flux is changing. Again, you can see that further it has rotated again 90 degree, that is 90 degree to 180 degree. What happens is it is the diagram is almost similar to this one, the first diagram, but difference is in the first diagram A was at the top, and you can see the third diagram A is at the bottom. That means it has rotated 180 degree. So at that time the flux linkage also changing, but the flux linkage happens at both the conductor, so that the voltage decreases from the peak to the 0. Okay, so initially when it is rotating anti-clockwise, what was happening actually, the conductor A, if I assume this total conductor has two parts, A and B, the conductor A is in contact with more amount of flux lines than B, and the flux linkage also rapidly changing. That means it goes from 0 to maximum. And then when it is rotating, A and B, the flux linkage with A and B is almost same. So the potential difference comes from maximum to 0. And again, when it is rotating 270 degree, that means from again 90 degree, that means from 0 to 270 degree. If you are measuring from 0 to 270 degree of rotation, or after 180 it is rotating, assume that it is rotating again 90 degree. So what happens is this A comes in the near to the south pole. The A conductor comes near to the south pole, and B conductor is near to the north pole. So maximum induced EMF is happening at, or maximum induction is happening at B than A. എനേക്കാളും ഇൻഡക്ഷൻ സംഭവിക്കുന്ന എവിടെയാണ്, ബിയിലാണ് സംഭവിക്കുന്നത്. Now if you measure voltage at A with respect to B, it will give you a negative quantity. So that is why this waveform goes from 0 to negative or negative maximum, because the maximum EMF is induced in the B, conductor B, than A. So when you are measuring voltage at A with respect to B, so assume that B is having some 230 potential, B is having some 230 potential, A is having 0. A is having 0. Okay, so when you are measuring voltage at A with respect to B, so it will voltage at A is always less than B. Okay, so it will give you a negative quantity. So it moves from 0 to minus maximum. Again, it is rotating for 90 degree. Now A is at the top. Now this waveform and the first is same, or the first diagram and the last diagram is almost same. It is rotated almost 360, that is entire circular shape. Now again what will happen is flux linkage to both conductor A and B will be same, and it finally reaches 0. So as it rotates in 180 degree or 360 degree, one cycle completes. One cycle means a one positive half cycle and negative half cycle. So this is how AC waveforms are generated. So if you have visited any hydro power stations, they will be using dam to block all this water, and below that dam there will be pipelines where they will be guiding this water. This water will be full of great force, and it will be flowing on the turbine, and turbine will be rotating. So with the help of that turbine, the rotor, what is shown here, will rotate. So there will be magnetic flux lines. എങ്ങനെയാണ് അവിടെ ഫ്ലക്സ് ലൈൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കുക? അവിടെ ഓൾറെഡി ബാറ്ററിയിൽ സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാകും കുറച്ച് എനർജി. അത് വെച്ചിട്ട് ഇനീഷ്യലി ഫ്ലക്സ് ലൈൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കും. പിന്നീട് അത് റോട്ടർ റൊട്ടേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റി പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യും. പിന്നെ അതിന് എന്താ പറയുക, തിരിച്ച് ഈ വൈൻഡിങ്ങിലേക്ക് കൊടുത്തിട്ടാണ് അത് മെയിൻറ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്യുക. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഇനീഷ്യലി കറണ്ട് ഇല്ല, കാരണം generator is not working. So how, and also I cannot use a large permanent magnet for this north pole and south pole. That kind of magnet is not available. So what they will be using, they will be using electromagnet. So with the help of electricity they will make a magnet. So you can ask that question. Initially anywhere generator is not rotating now in the initial condition, how I can provide this field, how I can energize this electromagnet. So how they are doing is, they will be having a battery room. With the help of battery, they will be energizing this electromagnet, and once the rotor produces or enough EMF is induced in the circuit, that is given to the field winding or to this electromagnet as a like a feedback. Okay, rotor the direct electromagnetic, then it will be working continuously. So this is how alternating current is generated. So the output will be in the form of positive half cycle and negative half cycle. So one complete cycle means it includes positive half cycle and negative half cycle. That means, what is positive half cycle? As I told earlier, I am measuring voltage at A with respect to B. Voltage at A respect to B. So B is your reference. B is your reference. So initially when it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, voltage is actually EMF is induced in the A conductor. So with respect to B, A is having a positive value. So and it goes to the positive maximum, then it reduces to 0. And again after rotating 180 degree, the voltage at B, voltage is actually induced, EMF is induced in the conductor B. So when you are measuring voltage at A with respect to B, the actually it is induced in the B conductor. So magnitude at B is more. So with respect to B, the induced EMF in A is very less. So it is having a negative value. അല്ലെ, ആദ്യത്തത് ബി വെച്ച് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ എയിൽ പോസിറ്റീവ് ആണ്, രണ്ടാമത് ബി വെച്ച് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ അടുത്ത 180 ഡിഗ്രിയിൽ ബി വെച്ച് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ എയിൽ നെഗറ്റീവ് ആണ്. സോ that is how we are getting a waveform like this. So this is same diagram. Okay, sine AC wave. You can, if you observe, this is actually the voltage axis and this is actually the time axis. time axis, and or a degree axis, both I can use. There are different types of representation. So for this particular diagram, it is degree. Okay, that we will be discussing today itself, that topic. This is voltage axis. So as I told, first initial position, the EMF induced is 0. So when the rotor rotates 90 degree, the waveform reaches the positive maximum, and again when it reaches 180 degree, from positive maximum to 0, it reduces, and again after next 90 degree, what happens is terminal, the conductor inverts from A to B, it changes. Previously voltage was induced in A, now it is inducing in B, so it goes into the negative maximum, and from 270 to 360, from negative maximum to 0 it comes. So this is one cycle of waveform. Okay, if AC means it is not only sine wave, AC means it can be a square waveform like this, because it is also having positive half cycle and negative half cycle, or it can be a triangular waveform, the same also having positive half cycle and negative half cycle, or it can be a sawtooth waveform, it also having positive half cycle and negative half cycle. So alternating quantity, alternating current, or alternating voltage means it can be not only sinusoidal quantity, it can be square wave, triangular wave, sawtooth waveform, etc. Now the next topic, it is about representation of sine wave. How to represent a sine wave? So there are three methods to represent a sine wave. So one is in the time mode. So this is time mode actually. So time mode, what happens is the waveforms are plotted with respect to time. How to plot waveform with respect to time? So instead of degree, I am assuming like that. This is a 0. This is initially the time is 0. After some few seconds, 1 second, it rotates some 90 degree. Again, after 2 seconds, it rotates 190 degree. Uh, just an assumption, okay. Uh, After 3 seconds, it rotates 270 degree. 4 seconds, it rotates 360 degree. That means with respect to time, the angle of rotation is changing. So that is how a waveform is represented in the time axis. So it is actually a voltage is plotted with respect to time. At each second or each instant, what is the value of voltage? That is the meaning of that. ഓരോ ടൈമിലും അതിന്റെ വോൾട്ടേജ് എത്രയാണ്. So you can see that in the x-axis we have time, and in the y-axis we have voltage, and there is time period. Time period means it is the capital T. It is not small t. Capital T means it is a time period. It is the time taken to complete one full cycle, and it is T by 2 time taken to complete half of the cycle, and this T means it is a time. Okay, at 0 second what happens, 0.1 second what happens, what is the value of voltage, 0.2 second what is the value of voltage. So this is the equation, that is V is equal to, that is instantaneous value, V is equal to peak value sine 2 pi by T into T. So this T is of time. Okay, again I will explain you one more thing. V is equal to Vm sin omega t. This is the equation for an AC waveform, sin omega t or sin theta. Now let me take sin theta. Okay, so initially when theta value is 0, so what is the instantaneous value? Theta value 0 ആയാൽ instantaneous value എന്താണ്? Vm sin 0. Vm sin 0. So what is sin 0? എന്താണ് sin 0? sin 0 എന്താ? Zero. Okay. Next, if you check what is the instantaneous value at a 90 degree, so it is Vm sin 90. Vm sin 90. So what is sin 90? Sin 90 is actually 1. So it is Vm. So that is, this value is, peak value is Vm actually. So that is how this equation comes. Okay. So instantaneous value means at each instant, what is the value of voltage or current? That is how we are using this expression. That is why we are using this expression. This expression is used to find what is the instantaneous value of voltage depending on theta or time. So here, if you write expression in time mode, the expression is V is equal to Vm sin 2 pi by t. T is nothing but time period into t. Suppose if I want to know what is the voltage at 0.02 second immediately after starting the rotation, what is the value of voltage? Then I can substitute the value of t 0.02 in this equation, and then I can substitute capital T, what is the time period, then I will be getting what is the instantaneous voltage. So that is this. In time mode, sine waveform is represented with respect to time. And then secondly, we have degree mode. See here, it is, the expression is V is equal to Vm sin theta. That means it is represented in the same manner. Okay, 90 degree, 180 degree. So if I want to know what is the voltage at 45 degree, I can substitute V is equal to Vm sin 45. The value of sin 45 I can substitute, and I will be getting what is the instantaneous value at that particular point. Okay, and sine wave also can be represented in radian mode, where we are using a term omega. Omega is actually angular frequency in radian per second. Okay, radian per second. So if you multiply radian per second into time, so second cancel each other. Time is actually in second, right? So omega t is radian. Omega is actually radian per second, and unit of time is also second. So you can cancel both the second value. You will be getting value in radian. That is how the term is called radian mode. The representation is called radian mode. Sine wave is represented with angular frequency. So with the help of pi, not theta or not time period, it is represented with the help of pi, 2 pi, etc. So pi radian. 2 pi radian means, pi means it is 180 degree, 2 pi means it is 360 degree. And it is almost similar to time mode, because you can see that it is represented V is equal to Vm sin omega t actually. Omega means 2 pi f, or we know that frequency is 1 by time period, 2 pi by t. Omega is actually 2 pi by t. So here you can see it is same. Okay, Vm sin omega t. Omega, instead of omega I can type 2 pi by t. Okay, so far we were discussing about how alternating currents are generated, how alternating currents are generated. There will be a magnetic field. A conductor will be rotating in the magnetic field. So as per the degree of rotation, the different EMF of different polarity and magnitude will be produced. And then we have seen how to represent what are the different types of AC waveform. It is not only sine waveform, you have square waveform, triangular waveform, sawtooth waveform, and we have also seen representation of sine wave. Sine waves are represented in three different methods: time mode, degree mode, and radian mode. Then we will learn some different types of different terminologies associated with alternating current. Okay, what is cycle time or period or time period? Okay, cycle time or period or time period. Well, it's same. Time period and periods are same. Or I can call it as cycle time. The time required to complete one cycle of a signal. So this is a positive half cycle. This is a negative half cycle. So it is a total time period. And I can call this also a time period because it start, I'm assuming that the starting is at this point. It starts from this and it goes like this and ends at the same point. So this is also period. Okay, or I can take this is also starting of a cycle. It start like this and completes negative half cycle, then later it completes positive half cycle and reaches the zero. This is also another period. Okay, it has to complete one cycle. That is the meaning. It does not mean full half cycle, full positive half cycle, full negative half cycle, nothing like that. It should stop where it started. എവിടെ നിന്നാണോ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത് അവിടെ എൻഡ് ചെയ്യണം. അതാണ് ഒരു സൈക്കിൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Okay, so actually for this one, it started here and it goes like this, comes here. Okay, a complete repeated ആവാതെ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ഒരു സൈക്കിൾ, അതായത് എവിടെയാണ് എൻഡ് ചെയ്തത് അതിന്റെ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ഒരു സൈക്കിൾ തന്നെ അവിടെ വരണം. സോ ടൈം റിക്വയർഡ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് വൺ സൈക്കിൾ ഓഫ് എ സിഗ്നൽ ഈസ് കോൾഡ് time period. So it is normally represented, the unit of time period is actually seconds or minutes, like that we used to represent. And what is frequency? Frequency is the rate at which cycle repeats themselves, or you can simply tell it is the 1 by t is actually frequency, or you can say that number of cycles per second. That is the most appropriate definition, I think. Number of cycles per second. Frequency is number of cycles per second. Okay, and now you can see that assume this is 1 second and 1 second time duration. Assume this is 1 second time duration. If you observe this waveform, this is one cycle, this is the second cycle, this is the third one, this is the fourth one, this is the fifth one. So how many cycles are there in this waveform? 5 cycles. So this total duration is 1 second, and within that 1 second there are 5 cycles or 5 full waveform. So frequency of this waveform is 5 hertz. So number of cycles per second, how many cycles are there in that particular cycle? Sorry, how many cycles are there in a second? That is the meaning of frequency. So one cycle means one complete waveform, positive half cycle and negative half cycle. Okay, so in this graph, if you count within 1 second how many cycles are there, you can count that it is 5 cycles are there, because the total duration here shown is 1 second. So within that 1 second there are 5 cycles. So what is the frequency of that waveform? Frequency is 5 hertz. Unit of frequency is hertz. ഓക്കെ, ക്ലിയർ ആയോ ഇന്ന് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പഠിച്ചതൊക്കെ? ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ 4ാമത്തെ അവറും ഞാൻ തന്നെ വരും. ബാക്കി നമുക്ക് ആ സമയത്ത് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാം. കുറച്ചും കൂടെ നല്ലോണം പഠിക്കുക.